there's a lot of talk still about this phenomenon that's happening with Kamala, where she doesn't have to actually think anything or say anything, but yet is experiencing this explosion of popularity. And so here is some folks from MSNBC talking about this meteoric, spontaneous rise in the polls.
There was a sense of increased enthusiasm, excitement, a sense that they might actually be able to win this thing now.
CBS,
is the polling reflecting that?
Good morning, Ed. And the short answer is yes. Let me remind everybody, this is a shift because Joe Biden, when he was the nominee, was down 5 points nationally to Donald Trump. So what's behind this is really interesting because you see more Democrats now say not only are they excited about Harris as the nominee, but that they're going to vote. And that'll make your poll numbers go up. In fact, if you look at our estimates across each and every one of the battleground states, from Pennsylvania to Michigan, down south, Georgia, Arizona, and others, they're all even or close. And that is your reset race. You see core Democratic constituencies saying they're going to vote. Specifically, black voters are enthusiastic. Their numbers of saying they're going to vote are up from July. And I want to talk about the women's vote, because not only does Harris do better than Biden was doing, but women tell us they think that Harris would look out for the interests of women much more so than Donald Trump. So it's not just a demographic break. That's the rationale behind it, Ed.
And they were.
Do women not buy gas or groceries?
Right?
I mean, it's like, is that all we're good for, is going and getting abortions? I don't understand you women. I don't. I don't, because I handle the finances in my house. And I mean, I actually get gas in my own car. I go grocery shopping once in a while, and things suck.
Right. Well, and so does the world around you. I mean, the world around you also sucks, and the world is dangerous because of this administration.
Yeah.
I'm a woman and I care about security. I care about
I have
that.
2 daughters. I worry about their safety. I swear these women are they're
just
embarrassing.
They're shells of women. That's
right.
all they are.
They are embarrassing to women because they're like, well, I mean, she's got lady parts, so I guess I got to vote for her. You're an idiot.
Complete idiot. And what worries me, because I know people are like, polls, schmoles, you just don't pay attention to polls. What I do worry about is the enthusiasm, because enthusiasm translates into actual voter registration and going to the polls. I worry, especially after hearing that terrifying stat from Scott Pressler about the rallies of the Trump rallies, where they're packed full of people and only 13% of them are actually registered to vote.
Yeah.
That terrifies me, that there's all these people that are like, go Trump, that don't actually get their butts off to do the work to vote. That's what I worry about.
It's true. And that is actually true, you guys. You could believe that, because as a precinct chair, I will tell you that is 100% true.
So infuriating that people just sit home. I just can't.
They're like, well, I'm not going to make a difference. I mean, I love going to the rallies, but I'm not going to make a difference. So why bother? This is what they do. And they're like, well, they cheat anyway, so I'm not going to bother. Bother. Go bother. Yeah.
Please bother. Oh my God. Do all the bothering. And then Rich Lowry on Kamala's rise, but also Trump's the strategy that Trump should employ.
Has obviously had a huge burst of momentum, right? She's gone from a month ago, she was a subpar vice president, and now she's the second coming of Barack Obama, basically. And a lot of it has to do with just sheer media adulation. A lot of it is relief among Democrats and no longer having Biden at the top of the ticket. But I think her case, and this goes to what we were talking about earlier, is basically, you guys maybe didn't like Trump and Biden very much. I'm a third force. I'm fresh and new. And what Trump has to argue is, no, she was an integral part of an administration that most Americans consider failed. The president's...
It's amazing that a month ago...
That's exactly right. Like, that has to be the strategy. She owns this administration's failures. She was part of it. She's done nothing. And look at what I did, and look at what I will do. Because Kamala's not going to tell you anything about what she's going to do. There's nothing even on her website.
She will tell you nothing, period. She's just going to say nothing until they're going to keep her hidden. They're going to keep her from saying jack squat for the next 3 months.
Yep.
She hasn't said anything. Nothing.
And people need to keep dragging her for that, like calling her out. Where's Kamala? I love all the accounts. I know JD Vance is one of them. Tom Cotton's another, who are literally counting days since she became the presumptive nominee, and how many days it's been since she's answered a single question.
Right. Right.
And I love that they're doing that. That needs to be spread far and wide.
It's the same tactic they used for Biden. They hit him in the basement. They're doing the same thing with her. This is, and they think that they're gonna like put her over the goalpost to get her elected this way. And it could very well work with
Absolutely
people.
It could. I'm pretty stoked today because this afternoon we are going to be recording with our friend and sponsor of the show, Zach from Bulwark Capital Management. And it'll be released this weekend, but obviously we're going to talk to him about the market crash yesterday because, and what it means going forward and how Japan had anything to do with it. We have so many questions. And he is our go-to guy when it comes to anything related to the markets, anything related to finances. He is the guy. And what's great about him is that he is willing to talk to any one of you about how your current financial portfolio is set up for retirement and whether it's set up in a way that makes the most sense. He can do a free consultation with you. He also does all these amazing radio hits, and he does a seminar every now and then, which we usually promote on this show. But if you want to talk to him and just get personal attention and pick his brain about how you're planning for your own retirement, you can do that. You can just visit knowyourriskradio.com, get in touch with him there. And by going there, you're also going to get a copy of his free Common Sense Investing Guide, which is a great read. So check it out, knowyourriskradio.com.
Advisory services offered through Track Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Track 24-244.
Greg Gutfeld saying it in just always the perfect way, talking about how it's irrational exuberance.
That debate exposed probably the biggest political scandal in modern history, right? They covered up a president's dementia. Then 3 weeks ago, we had probably the biggest security breach in decades, an attempted assassination. And yet, without doing a thing, Kamala is the story. She's done nothing. She said nothing, yet she is the story. That tells you that the machine is doing all of it. She's just a constant variable. It doesn't matter. She's having fun because she knows everything is taken care of, right? She's like a tourist in the back seat of a Vegas limo with a roadie Long Island iced tea heading to the casino to play with the house chips. Right. But the Republicans, and this is the key point, they have to show up because the fact is, if you do not confront the Democratic Party with the dementia cover up and who participated in it, which was her, she's going to get away with it. They were driving full speed into that story. And if the Republicans don't confront them and say she was behind this because she knew she would get the nomination. She knew she would get the nomination if this happened, if they covered it up. That's the story.
Yep. But they're going to cover for her. They're going to keep covering for her.
Clearly. Yeah. And that's why everybody's just got to be as loud as possible about saying all the things and not being and being fearless about saying the things.
Right. And when you see people say, I'm with her, be like, why? She covered this up. She was part of the cabal. I mean, it was a coup. This is unconstitutional. I mean, the way they did this was it's non-democratic, and they've been preaching democracy to us for how many years? And now all of a sudden they're not
now, right?
Right. Now all of a sudden they stop saying it. I wonder why. Yeah.
I'm very glad that Tim Pool is so very popular and has so many listeners, because I know we say it all the time, how important it is to vote, to not just be a Trump supporter, but to actually cast a vote for him. And when he talks about what a Kamala presidency would look like, it should scare, I would hope, his audience into doing that, into voting, because it's not going to be good.
Good. This is what I actually fear, though, right? A Donald Trump presidency is going to be presidency and administration will be marginally good. He's going to hire some bad people. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. He'll hire some better people. It'll be okay. We're going to be moderately happy with it. I think the economy being good means many people will be very happy with it. Kamala Harris has no policy positions on her website.
Nope.
She's not received a single vote. She was installed. Yeah. And they're showing polls where she's within the margin of error of beating Trump. And if that happens, that's what really scares me. This is the powers that be saying, can we enact Chinese communist-style governance in the United States? Because if Kamala Harris wins, that's what it is. And it's unfortunate that it really comes down to Trump and oblivion. And I don't mean to say that Kamala Harris is going to be like Hitler or anything like that, although some guy from Splinter News, which used to be Fusion where I worked, actually believed my over-the-top tweet where I said she'd start 800 wars, and he thought it was real because they're not smart people.
Project Special
What I
K.
mean is Kamala Harris winning signals the end of the Republic.
Yes.
I really do think if Kamala wins, you're going to wake up and you're going to buy bread. You're going to wake up, you're going to go to the store and get milk, bread, and eggs. You're going to turn on the TV and you're going to watch your Fox News or your Newsmax or your ABC, whatever it is you're watching. Kamala will be president. There will be there'll be expansion of war. There will be mass spending, and you will have no say and no power over it. It will not be a dramatic overnight end. People will not be rounded up and put in camps. None of that. It's just going to be the beginning of the end of the republic, which is no more representation by the people.
I think that's right. And we're seeing no representation by the people in the Democrat Party. And you also are seeing something which is fascinating, which is all of these Democrats saying, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And we like it this way. And please tell us what to do. You know, beat us some more. That is what we are into.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am. May I have another? This is what they're doing. And they
Yeah.
like it because these people want socialism. They want communism. They like it. They want to be told what to do, how to live their lives. And we are the antithesis of that. And that is why I want a divorce.
Same.